Hello, everybody. It's Big Al with more content from Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about how smaller players, newcomers, can help their team for one, but also get their contribution points up a little bit more. So, the way to get contribution points is when you're attacking a keep that has not been occupied before, killing the armies and siege damage. Okay, Siege doesn't give you that much contribution points, but it does give you some. And supposedly, with some of the changes they've made, that's also going to help. It's supposed to calculate a little bit better. Some of the changes they've made, you can also get contribution points by taking enemy tiles. And everybody's favorite is merit, prestige, whatever you want to call it, by fighting PvP. But I'm going to focus on the siege part of it. And this is one thing that evil side has a huge advantage against good side. Not only does evil side have alchemists, which are the best small unit siege in the game, but they have commanders that have siege buffs. And these are ones I recommend for the smaller players definitely to get so that you have that extra siege buff, because that will help get you more contribution points when you're doing keeps. And also, one of the things that smaller players are going to need to do is when you're attacking, say, a crossing or something like that, and it's defended, and everybody goes to take it. But once you get to that other side, you're going to need to break a lot of forts. And that is one of the bigger ways that the smaller players can help is sieging those forts. Because honestly, whales are lazy. Most whales don't bring much siege around with them. But let me go talk about these commanders and show you which ones I'm talking about. First is Gothmog. Okay, one thing about his is he needs respect level 4, because on his respect level 4, down here you see, once it gets to level 10, it gives siege damage of the commander's formation plus 12%. So, when you're talking, he's getting that 12%, but then also, when you put siege ladder gear on him, if you have a 2-piece set, that gives you an extra 5%. And then if you have the 4-piece siege ladder set, it's going to give you an extra 12%. So we're talking 24% total of added siege buff. So that's going to help give you more contribution points when you are doing keeps. So Gothmog is one. And again, good side doesn't have any commanders that have a siege buff. Not like they used to. Grish Grish is what I call him. So his is here. He only needs to be recruited. You don't even have to have any respect for him. And his bottom R0 skill, same thing. Siege damage of orcs or Uruk-hai units in the commander's formation. So if you noticed on Gothmog, his didn't have a race specific. So with siege damage of orcs, okay, it will show you and explain which ones. Now Uruk-hai, which if you see, alchemists are right there. So it's been 2 seasons since I played non-role play, but I believe Breakers and the next one up, forget what they're called, they do the same amount of siege damage, but the alchemists do the most for the small unit. So they're going to get an 8% siege buff. And then you got a tier 1 Ugthak that gives you siege bonus as well. His is on his R4 skill tree. So you got Gothmog and him that need to be R4, and siege damage of orcs or urukai units in the commander's formation are 8%. And if you're evil side, you're going to use the breakers or, oh, sorry, wrong one. The breakers or the alchemists. So you're going to get an extra 8% there. Plus, siege ladder gear, you're going to get either 5% or 12% siege. So, I always recommend getting those 3 commanders because right here, yes, he's a tier 2, but you just have to recruit him. Gothmog, you need to have him respect level 4. Same thing with Ogthak, you need respect level 4. But he's a tier 1. How easy is it to get tier 1 commanders to respect level 4? So that's one way, an additional way that you guys can help your team get your contribution numbers higher. So I hope that makes sense and that gives a little help to some of the smaller guys and the newcomers. So as always, make the most out of what you got.